Cincinnati Archbishop Moeller beat Beavercreek 55-52 on Saturday night at UD Arena in the finale of a triple header of District Division I finals. Moeller controlled the opening tip and proceeded to pass the ball 20 times before they put up the game's initial shot, and it was a layup that went in. Beavercreek, however, ended up winning the game after the first quarter, and this game came down to a missed free throw in the final seconds of the contest. So it was Cincinnati over Dayton, GCL over GWOC, and the other games were the same. Middletown won in this evening, and so did Cincinnati Withrow. And as usual, in Division I, the basketball season's over in the Upper Miami Valley. Nevertheless, this was a great evening, and JJ Huddle was there. This is JJ Huddle HD. Hi, my name's Alex Sater, and I'm your host. After the game, we ran into Tim Longevin at midcourt.
Two evenly matched teams with similar styles of play battled for 32 minutes in a game which saw 10 lead changes and 7 ties. But Moeller escaped with the win, 55-52. Beavercreek led 14-11 after the first quarter. Kyle Rader led the surge with 7 points, including a 3 for the Beavers. And then Moeller led 25-24 at the break. They were paced by Josh Davenport, who scored 4 points. Very explosive player to the rack. Third quarter, Beavercreek reclaimed the lead, 34-33. And this time it was Tyler Reesner scoring 5 points. But then Moeller led by 9, 45-36 with 4:23 left in the game. Junior point guard Keith Watkins scored 4 points during that stretch, but more importantly, he dished out 3 assists. This kid has only started a handful of games this season because of a high ankle sprain he suffered during the football season. Came back a little too soon. It never fully healed. Well, now he's at 100%. And he finished the game with 13 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. But Beavercreek fought back. They narrowed the gap, 53-52, with 18.3 seconds left.
Yeah, Kyle Rader got the ball on the top of the key on a high ball screen, drove down the right lane, and was hammered.
Shoot 2 foul shots. He made the first one, but then his second one bounced high over the backboard, and that was it. Settler finished with 7 points. He was 3 of 4 from the foul line to end his brilliant career. But it still wasn't quite over. Ben Galimo sealed it with like 2.6 seconds left. He nailed the front end of a 1-and-1 and then made the second one to give us the final score. I think the key to the game was Moeller's ball movement, especially in the second half, when Watkins was able to split that zone. Beavercreek did a nice job the first half, not really allowing any guard penetration whatsoever. But in the second half, Watkins and Davenport were able to find the gaps and more than just score points. The Crusaders ended up with 15 assists to only 7 for the Beavers. So that was the telltale stat of this game.
The Beavers were scoring in transition, whereas Moeller was scoring out of their offense.
Exactly. It's going to be Moeller 21-3 going up against Middletown, who's 19-5. That'll be the first regional semifinal game Wednesday at Xavier University's Cintas Center. That game starts at 6:15. Just a side note on that game, not that it really means anything at this stage of the season, but earlier in December, Moeller beat Middletown 55-38. But obviously both teams are different and better. And then the 8 o'clock matchup finds Cincinnati Withrow 16-6, and they'll go up against 19-5 Fairfield. So there we have the Southwest District for you.
And then in the second half, the guards started penetrating. You had a few back doors, a few give and goes. Talk about your team.
I think we're getting better right now. I think our team's getting better. We knew Beaver Creek was going to be a tough assignment. Offensively, I think they're a really, really talented team. A lot of matchups that were difficult for us, but proud of our guys. Kind of took control in the fourth quarter when it was time, but then they made their comeback and we held our poise and hit some big free throws, and we get to play another day. Just feel fortunate.
And Middletown's next, right? Now you beat them earlier in the year, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't think it has any relevance to the next game, but yeah, we played at our place in December, and I think we were both developing teams. We didn't have Keith Watkins at the time, and they were still developing. Josh's first year, so to be honest with you, from what I've seen, I think they may be playing better than anybody right now, and we know what we're in for Wednesday, and we're going to have to play our best to have a shot.
Doesn't it seem kind of like, I don't mean this in a bad way, you're second fiddle to the football program, so to speak. Do you think that's a stigma or anything, or just talk about it?
I really don't. I think at our school, really, if you look at every program we have, football to volleyball to if we do it, our debate team, everything really tries to be the best it can be, and we support one another. And we don't look at it that way. Certainly the tradition of Moeller football, that's our flagship sport, because it just runs so deep in our community. But hey, we pull for each other. It's really a close-knit community. It really is. So we don't see it that way.
Right. I thought Watkins played a really nice game.
Football player.
Oh, he is a football player. Okay.
Go back.
See, all right.
Yeah.
Now, talk a little bit about his play. I thought he had a really nice game, especially in the second half.
I think he's one reason we're a lot different right now. I mean, Keith came off football season, a high ankle sprain. Didn't start with us until January, and hadn't played since summer. Was very rusty. We inserted him in the starting lineup when we started game 21. He did not start for us until then, and he certainly brings Keith, the kid that just believes in himself, and he's just an incredible athlete. So he made, I thought, the big plays today that kind of got us on a roll, and we know he can do that. So a big part of our team.
I just marvel at how patient and disciplined your offense is. Sometimes you'll knock off a minute, 45 seconds.
Because we can't figure out what to do.
Oh, is that what it is?
Because we can't figure out what to do, just hold on to it until something good happens. We talk about long possessions because it can grind the other team that makes them play. I just think in any sport that has a clock, you've got to be pretty good at owning that clock to a certain degree. Now, you can't get tentative, but long possessions, I think, can be important. Now, again, it's a fine line between that and being tentative. But I thought our guys, for the most part, had some long possessions that ended in easy shots. And I think that's a backbreaker for the other team.
Great. Thank you very much. How many years have you been coaching there? You've been
this is my 22nd year, I think.
22nd.